Hello there. Wow. I haven't been on Facebook Live for a little bit. I've been doing a lot of YouTube channel stuff. But today I really felt called to dedicate this few minutes to my daughter Maddie. Last year on this day, she actually hi Jeff, hi Leslie. Hey Leslie. She actually went into respiratory failure on today. It was a Tuesday. Last year it was October 23rd, so we're a day forward because of the new year. Hey Megan. I really didn't want to do this. Like, there's a part of me that just didn't want to do it, but yet I felt like I needed to. And because typically today I would do a video around something with the business, and but I just felt like I couldn't, like I didn't want to do anything about business today. So hi Dawn. So I felt like I wanted to talk about Maddie and just what the last year has been like, for me. And it's been like hell, but it's also been beautiful. It's been both for me. And I have to try. I don't know. I don't even know if I can do this. Today was the hardest day because it was like the dashing of a lot of dreams, I am not a crier in public. I don't like crying in public. I don't even cry in front of my husband or my daughter or my mom. And so this is hard for me. It's like very vulnerable. And, but, so after she went into respiratory failure, she was on life support for 3 days after that. So this week is just really like emotional, even though I've done so much work this year on moving forward. So I appreciate your love and your support. It's not been easy. I've had some friends who are really good friends, and Leslie, you're one of them, who have been here for me, and it just means everything, right? And I've also been hurt by others who, it's not personal, and I know that. They don't know how to be with somebody who's grieving, and so they tend to avoid and they withdraw. And I get that too, and that's okay. I personally get it. I really do. So I just wanted to give an update about this last year and how it's gone. And about a month before Maddie died, she talked to me. She said, "Mommy, I want you to hire Teresa Caputo, who happens to be the Long Island medium." And hey, Rebecca, I know. Rebecca just lost her brother who had cystic fibrosis too. And what was I saying? So anyway, Maddie asked me to hire Teresa Caputo who's the Long Island medium, and she said that she just wanted me to talk to her through this medium, and we always watched the Long Island medium together, and I just kind of brushed it off. I didn't promise her anything because I did not, first of all, want to think about that. That was the main reason, it's like, I don't want to talk about that because we were doing a healing circle together. I really thought she had many, many more years. And FYI, I just got an email today from the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and they have a new drug that just came out today, I guess, and it's called Trifecta or something. I don't even know. I can't think right now, but it's going to help about 90% of the people with the most common genetic mutation of cystic fibrosis, and And I'm like, why couldn't she have held out one more year? I'm so happy for all the people with CF who it's going to help. It's just, maybe I shouldn't have done this today. Anyway, so I did not commit to hiring the Long Island medium. But about a week later, I went to this women's networking event. And this woman named Catherine Hughes came up to me. And I'd known Catherine for many years, and she said, well, she said, I won't cost near as much as Teresa Caputo, and I don't have a 2-year waiting list. So I said, okay, that's great. So I decided to hire her and did a reading for Maddie, and that was on May 2nd of this year. And let me grab a tissue. Hold on. I didn't expect that I would just be feeling like this. Why I wouldn't expect that, I don't know. So I did the reading, and that was very, very healing for me. Because Maddie came through in this reading, and she even knew about this purple journal that I had pulled off of my bookshelf. That the purple journal, I went right to it because I do a gratitude journal, and I was looking for one, and I went right to this journal, and I didn't use it for a gratitude journal, but on the front of the journal, it was signed by Maddie. And she had not used it though, but it was signed by her, and it had on the very last page a few of her goals. So I decided, oh, this is going to be my journal where I record only very special things. So that's what I've done. I've used that purple journal, and she knew about it, and she said, I'll be coming to you in the morning, 4, 5, 6 a.m. She knows I'm an early riser, and I'm going to be giving you special messages. And, put them in this purple journal. And so I've done that, and it's been amazing. Last November, we had a celebration for Maddie, and at least 3 women who are very spiritually connected came to me and said, she'll be guiding you from the other side. And I'm like, okay. And so, that's what she's done. She's actually done that. So now I want to share one more experience. She talked to me through these wind chimes. That's not the other experience, but some dear friends of mine bought me these wind chimes dedicated to Maddie, and she will communicate through these chimes. It's the craziest thing. I mean, the way that I realized this was last spring. It was around her birthday time in April, and I had just put these chimes out on my back porch because it was too cold. I hadn't put them out. I got them last November. So I put them out, and I was laying on my hammock, and I was just thinking, how much I missed her. And then I said, Maddie, give me some sort of sign. And she, all of a sudden, I'm laying on the hammock. I'd never heard the chimes before, and I'd only had them out like a week. And then all of a sudden, these wind chimes just started going crazy. And it wasn't even windy out. And so all of a sudden, I was alert, and I looked over, and I saw the chimes because they had her name on it, dedicated to Maddie Jo Reynolds, and then I just like, oh my gosh. And if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. So like today, for example, the wind chimes are just going crazy. Yeah, it's somewhat windy, but I have 2 other wind chimes to the side of these, and they're not even moving, so it's just kind of strange. But okay, one last thing I want to share with you before I go. This past August, it was the beginning of August, and I hope I can get through this story. So I knew this woman, her name's Elizabeth, and I wanted to go to this retreat that she is putting on, that she put on in August around Melbourne, Florida. It's about a 16-hour drive from St. Louis, which is where I'm at. And so I recruited my other daughter, Chelsea, and my friend Kathy to go with me on this retreat. So we were driving, we went to the retreat, and on Saturday of the retreat, it was a very overcast day at the beach, and we were at this condo, and I was sitting on the back porch overlooking the beach. It was sort of misting out, and there was only one person on the beach, and that was this woman, a young woman, sitting in a chase lounge. She had her back to me, but she looked a lot like Maddie. Like, her hair was pulled back. It looked like Maddie's hair. She had the same build as Maddie. She was a single person out on that wide beach because it was not very nice out. And I just remember thinking, I just wish that I could hold her one more time. This is what I was thinking. I didn't express that to anybody else. And so we went inside. It was right after lunchtime, and we were going to do something called breath work. And breath work is where you usually have a yoga mat, and there's two people involved, okay? It's the person lying on their back on the mat who's breathing, and then the other person is called the observer or the sitter, and they're watching and holding space for the person lying on the mat. So you do this for each other, and then you switch places. So I went first, and my sitter, her name is Daylight. That was an appropriate name. And they had like a mask on us, so it was dark. We weren't distracted. And then they had this very emotional music playing in the background. And so what you start doing, you're lying on the mat. I was lying on the mat, and the facilitator, Elizabeth, the retreat leader, she has you start to do this breathing. It's called circular breathing, which is where you're like this. It's not a deep belly breath. It's more of almost a shallow breath, but it's a little more rapid. And you're just breathing out through your mouth. And you do this for about 50 minutes, 50, not 15, but 50 minutes. And so for the first 15, 20 minutes, I'm getting so much energy moving through my body, like in my arms and my legs, and I'm feeling just intense tingling, like, when your feet or hands go to sleep. It was like that, but it was very intense. And I was just kind of squeezing my hands like this and kind of pushing because it was so uncomfortable. And Elizabeth came up to me. I couldn't see her, but I could hear her. And she just said, push against my hands. So I said, okay. And so I pushed against her hands very hard. And, she really resisted me because I pushed very hard. And I did that 3 times. And after the 3rd time, which ironically enough, when I had Maddie, I only pushed 3 times and I had her. So it was sort of a metaphor for birth in some way, giving birth to something new. So when I pushed the 3rd time, something broke loose within me, and this intense emotion, and it was just like a release of grief, of sadness, of pain, and it was unleashed. It felt unleashed, and then after that, I just started sobbing, and I just remember. Then it was at that moment that this presence, this amazing, palpable energy, this presence came down and embraced me. And it felt like Maddie, right? It felt definitely like Maddie, and it just embraced me. And then it felt like our creator, God, higher power, whatever you want to call it, was embracing me with this much love. It was the most incredible experience I've ever had. And I just felt so loved. And then what happened next? Elizabeth came up to me. I'm laying on my back. And she whispers in my ear. And she said, Maddie told me to come hold you. And I'm like, oh my God. And so Elizabeth rolled me over on my side. And she came in there and she embraced me, right up to me. She was stroking my hair and just saying how much Maddie loved me. So it was so incredible. And then, if it couldn't get any better, Daylight, my observer, came in from behind. Again, me and Elizabeth are embracing on the floor. Daylight came in from behind and was holding me from behind. And she said, this is what's called an Angie sandwich. I had never felt so loved and so supported in my entire life. And I will never forget that experience. And since then, I did another reading on September 2nd. with Catherine Hughes, who I highly recommend. And Maddie continues to show up and to guide me and to validate the work that I'm doing in my business with Morgan Higdon, and the incredible work that we're doing to support people, to support women and empower them. And it was, Maddie said in this last reading, she said that I can help so many more people from this side than I ever could in my sick body. And so, it's like, it's been a hellish year, especially this week last year. But at the same time, it's been a beautiful and gorgeous year in many ways. And I still feel that Maddie's with me and she's still guiding me. And you may not agree with what I'm saying, and that's okay. It's my story, it's my experience, and I'm sticking with it. So I'm doing well. And the way that I honor Maddie is by being strong and being resilient and being loving to the best that I can, right? And forgiving. And so I just want to share that with you today. And I thank you all. Rona, hey. So many of you. For Emily, wow, I haven't seen your name in a long time, for joining in and listening to me today, and just sending you so much love. And that if you've experienced grief, and if you knew Maddie, you probably have, that there is life on the other side of this, not only with your life, but also, I believe, with the person who is left, that there truly is something on the other side. And so I'm filled with hope today, and that's my year in review. So I just want to say thank you, and God bless, and have an amazing day. And if you ever want to reach out and talk to me and say hi, please feel free. Take care. Bye. Bye, Maddie. I love you, sweetie.